Let's take a look at the fastest way to get through this ACT English question that's focusing in on verbs. Let's pay attention to what's changing in our answer choices. Is, were, was, are. I can tell that they want me to get my alignment in place. Singular subject with a singular verb, plural subject with a plural verb. Let's see what I can get rid of based upon that. Steve Gleason, recipient of the Congressional Gold Medal for his ALS advocacy, is known for blocking a punt against the Atlanta Falcons during the reopening of the Superdome, which was, are something damaging by Hurricane Katrina. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stop right there because remember, when it's grammatically acceptable, I only have to pay attention to the sentence that I'm in. Now, I do have this great big comma sandwich phrase coming in here. It's unnecessary information or added description for us that doesn't help us answer this question. So I need to recognize in this case that the Superdome is my subject. The Superdome is singular. So I need to make sure I have a singular verb with that. So I'm going to get rid of my plural verb were and my plural verb are. So now let's pay attention to the next difference that we have. Damaging or damaged. Damaging is happening right now. Damaged happened in the past. So let's see what other verbs we have that may help us out with this. Known, that's happening past tense. If we don't recognize that that is a verb, it could be a little bit more challenging. The test writers are definitely trying to distract us here with the reopening of the Superdome. But if it reopened, that means it was damaged before. So don't let that throw you off. We have a sequence of events happening here. If we did go ahead and read a little bit further, we can see that recovered is coming into play, something that happened already. I'm going to choose answer choice C, Superdome, which was severely damaged by Hurricane Katrina. So let's talk a little bit about what we need to be paying attention to when we're working on our verbs within the ACT. Sometimes they're going to test us on our agreement. And our agreement has to do with, again, recognizing if we need something singular versus something plural. They're also going to test us on our tense, which is when something happened. Now, sometimes we may have a verbs question that's only about agreement. Sometimes we may have a verbs question that's only about tense, but frequently they're going to go ahead and test us on both. Now, a lot of students have trouble identifying is, are, was, were as singular versus plural verbs. So what I recommend doing here is testing with a he versus they. We know he is singular and they is plural. So let me show you what I mean by that. Would I say he is or they is? I would say he is. So I'm recognizing is singular. Would I say he were or they were? I would say they were. So I can recognize that were is plural. He was or they was? He was, also singular. He are or they are. Are is going with they, and therefore it's plural. That's a great way to really help your brain focus in on getting that alignment. So that's why we got rid of B and D there. So again, what we need to recognize here is while the test writers are distracting us with blocking a punt and the reopening of the Superdome, these things had to have happened after the Superdome was damaged. Because what does it mean to reopen? It means to open again. So it was damaged, closed down, they came back and opened it back up. And that's why I know I need to get my past tense of damaged in there and not be distracted with what the test writers are doing with blocking and reopening.